to talk about it. But let's talk about CRW, get people caught up. There's a few changes this year, obviously. But for those people that are just hearing this for the first time or hearing about CRW for the first time, maybe just give them an overview of what this thing is about and what they should expect.
So for once again, those who haven't watched any of the podcasts before, don't know about it. CRW, California Range Weekend, was a concept I kind of adopted from a buddy of mine from Rick Crawley, who does Ohio Range Day. And it was
legend in the range day business.
Yeah, so he's probably one of the first guys to actually do this. Years ago when I basically was looking to do it, decided to reach out to him. He helped me kind of get my feet started on this, and it was basically just trying to figure out a community event for the West Coast, for California. And that's really all we're trying to do, is just trying to bring California shooters and anyone else who's allies of California to come out and put on a big shooting event. And that's really the big gist of it. It was never to become rich. It was never to sit here and try and pull as much money as I could out of anybody. The whole point of it was, how can we bring so many amazing shooters that I got to know over these years, different instructors we had, and how can we bring this into one big kick-ass event where we can have vendors and everyone to put together. And that's really what this was about.
Well, my first experience was 4 years ago. It was my second, I would say, like range day event, big range day event. But it was, for me, it was overwhelming coming in because I really had very little experience. It was very new to the shooting community, came in, but coming out of that, what I remember coming out of it was, dude, when's the next one?
Yeah.
And not really realizing what I had just taken part of when you have facilities like, we're going to talk about this one here, or events like CRW was like this is not something that happens, very often.
No.
So I was kind of spoiled. I was invited by a bunch of guys who went down. There was already a sense of community when I got there. And then I had some amazing instruction over the couple of days that I was there.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like you said that, like, I remember getting an email from you maybe 3 weeks before the event. You're like, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. I really want to come to the event. I know spots are basically sold out. Do you think we can work something out? And once again, like, whole community aspect, like, say less. Like, so we got you in there, and I know it was a little hectic up front because, like I said, you came in like not just super late into the game with the whole thing was going on, but it just everything kind of blossomed from there.
And a newbie too. And by the way, this is way before the podcast.
Yeah,
this was at the very beginning of things. So like, I was just a dude, and I remember that the person I heard back from was you. And I think I said that on the last couple of podcasts we've done about this. It's just like, there is that connection point. It is not. It is very much person to person type of interaction when you get here. But so the event has evolved. Yeah. Right. And let's just kind of jump into, well, first off, actually, let's talk about like what challenges people and what's the hard part about putting on these events? Because I think people look at them from the outside going, maybe looking in, and obviously putting together an event is an undertaking in and of itself. But I think putting together shooting events like this certainly presents some unique challenges. Maybe we can talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So I would say the hardest part, honestly, is putting on, like, actually making sure it's an event that people want to be a part of. Because there's so many aspects of that, right? There's, with the event that we're doing, like we have vendors, we have instructors, we're getting people together, we're having to coordinate everything. And it's like, how can we make this to where people want to spend their hard-earned money on an event where, especially, year 1 and 2, most people never even heard of it. They're spending money on something they don't even know truly exists.
Mm-hmm. It's an idea.
Yeah, it really is. It's just an idea. So I think that was the hardest part. And I've been very fortunate. I've always had a really good team behind me who's been helping me out, putting things together. And the team, and the team has grown over the years. And some people have moved on. Other people have stayed. We've brought on new people. And I really appreciate everyone's time, effort, and energy they put into this over these past 4 years. So it's definitely, like, I think we've moved on from that was the hardest part to how can we now keep that interest, right? Because if you do the same thing over and over and over again, it's like, I've been to it last year. We don't need to worry about that, right? So I think that's now our biggest thing is how can we keep that energy that we want out of this? And I think one of the reasons why we'll get into that, obviously, is that's why I'm so excited about being here. Right. Is it's that new piece, that element to it, that little X factor, I guess you can call it, that I think we're really going to be pulling in with this event, with Adam and everything, and Prairie Fire in general.
So just before we get to Adam and Prairie Fire, let's just kind of, maybe this is a good time to just kind of address the elephant in the room, which is, and I think a lot of people are asking, and I say that because people have asked me.
It's on the comments.
Yeah, I mean, it's starting to come in. It's like, well, where is it? Like, what's going on? Why isn't it in California? Why are we moving it to Nevada?
Yeah.